Good evening, everyone. This is Shadows Pub, and this is Pimp Your Post Thursday evening edition from The Ramble. And ODS says that going to be doing some presenting. This is a good thing. So, done stuff. Lead off. Even your horse has got pants on. Lucky horse.
Okay, so, as you know, my friend Stella sat down and had a bit of a chat with you the other day. She recently wrote a post. She's quite, give me a second, I'll look at the post.
Okay.
And yeah, I think it's really good. It made me a little bit sad because, you know, I know the story behind it, but yeah, she's quite good with the words. A bit of a wordsmith, I'd like to say. And yeah, just thought I'd throw that out there and show you some of her stuff.
That's an interesting choice of graphic to use looks like basically a heart monitor.
I just skimmed the post and I see why she used that graphic. Yeah, it kind of makes sense when you look at what.
Yeah. Because it goes from flatline to activity.
Well, I don't want to give away the secret.
That's allowed. Where is the snook? Is she sleeping the day away?
That's a very good question. I've not actually seen her online.
I saw she made a comment on the Hive's continuation of the Alliance family story.
Yeah, I don't see her over in the Alliance either in one of the voice.
She's got to start getting up in the day.
Yeah, we miss her when she isn't here.
Done Stuff has given her a second ping. Just in case she missed the first one. Sounds like a plan. Alright. Thank you, Done Stuff. And
Thank you for thanking me.
Next one up is Wes. Wes, you're up.
Sorry, I was changing it from Steema to Steam Peak so you could see the graphic.
Aha.
Okay, this is from Victoria XL. She is a Steam in the Steam terminal. And she asked me a little while back to give her post a peek. And I looked and we, kind of conversated through Google Docs and stuff. Being in Venezuela, she's having a terrible time with electricity and her internet connection. So being thoughtful for others, which goes, in line with my initiative. I mentioned and she asked at the same time, could I present this for her? Not necessarily her, just in general. So I said yes, and she was ecstatic. And I even went as far as James Russell and I tried to work last night for quite a bit, and I was going to do it side by side, but I couldn't get it, and I wanted to get it out tonight. So I did it English on top and Spanish on bottom. So reinvent, and I really loved this post, your mindset. I thought it was really good, so I couldn't let it go. I had to get it out for her. So there you go, my friends.
Well, very good. So she's having difficulty trying to post on her own account?
Yes, just in general. She told me, between electricity problems and, of course, internet connection problems, she just couldn't do it at all. So I said, all right, let me give you a hand. Let me help.
They just can't catch a break down there, can they?
Yeah, those Venezuelans are really having it rough. I feel so badly.
Well, she's doing really good too. She was trying to present learning English, and I mean, I thought, she needed a little help, and that's thoughtful, not being corny and not trying to steal her vibe. But I really felt it'd just be really nice to help her out. So I told her anything I received, I would at the end of the payout, I would send her ways.
That's very kind of you. Sarge
But
sent you some shade.
So, Wes, do me a favor. Would you DM me her name? It's Bluefin.
of course I will, my friend. Yes.
Yeah, I think anybody that's trying real hard deserves a little something extra, too.
That's awesome, man. Group hug.
Yeah, I mean it when I posted it. A rising tide lifts all boats. Let's all just try and help out.
Oh, and Bluefin, I will give you a heads up. Victoria does not really speak a lot of English. When she comes into the Steam Terminal Discord, she uses the Accord bot quite a bit to translate her text because she's not really confident with English. So be prepared for that if you work with.
Quite all right. I'm a horrible hack in English as well, so maybe we're on the same footing.
In fact, if you do not have a translation bot in your Welcome Wagon Discord, I would highly recommend Accord bot. It does a very decent translation as well as a lot of other useful things. I can send you a link to an invite for Accord if you're interested in trying it. Or you can come play with it in Steam Terminal, see what it can do, and then decide if.
Okay. Thank you, Wes. And Nightmare, you are up. So I see that Wes got some shade and a cookie to eat in it.
Thank you.
It's always good to eat your cookies in the shade.
Cookie for me, cookie for you.
Okay, Nightmare, tell us what you got here.
So about about my post, I titled it. It's fine not to upvote as long as you be sure to have a comment because I think about it when I have a low space. Sometimes my upvote is not necessary, so maybe my comment will have them encourage or to build a relationship to have friends. That's why I made a title like this.
Yes, comments are important. And Asher's made the comment that commentary is the oil of the blockchain. Without them, the place would look empty. So one of the things that I have noticed, and it's probably because there is so much emphasis on commenting here on Steam, over on Medium, there's very few posts that you'll see with very many comments. The odd time they'll get some comments going on a post. They get 93 million visitors a month on that website. You'd think that it would generate a whole lot of comments, but it doesn't.
That's amazing that they have that many visitors and so few comments.
Yeah, like there's some posts that you'll see they'll get some commentary going. They're generally fairly controversial, but it's not at all uncommon to look at a post and there's no comments and it could be several days old. But there's not the same emphasis on commenting over there that there is here. Thank you, Nightmare. And Sarge, you're up.
Oh my, got the thing here. There you go.
Whoop. Blue dropped. He's looking for the link. Dee-dee-dee-dee. We didn't lose you too, did we, Sarge?
No, I'm here. I tried to paste it. Paste in something else.
Ah. I see you writing, so something's going in there. It's not so bad when something else gets pasted. It's when you paste and hit enter and all of a sudden it's like, what?
There we go. Well, this post here, it's had a lot of votes on it and stuff, but I wanted to share it. And actually, to give more kudos to, they call me Dan for getting this started. The kitty girl has probably kicked me in the leg if we were sitting at a table or something, because I challenged her on this too. Since she didn't have enough to do already, I have to make a post. But this is a initiative started by, they call me Dan, and I think it's great because right now there's, with the price of steam being what it is and everything, you know, a lot of people are upset with the new changes coming. But there's a lot of things to be excited about. And these are the things I'm excited about, you know, and what I am grateful for and what Steam has meant to me. And I use a quote at the beginning by Dr. Schweitzer. And yeah, so I don't want to do a spoiler, so you'll just have to read the post because I like people to read my post. So might check this out and maybe check the trending tag on the Grateful Challenge. There's a lot of really good posts I've been looking at.
Good. And Kitty Girl enjoyed it so much she threw my name into it.
Well, there you go.
You gotta spread the love, and you know you're a very grateful individual, Shadows. I know, and you could probably write a post about gratitude with your one arm tied.
Oh, that's kind of hard to do. I'm not a very good one-handed typist. Hi, LeBay. The challenge, Mr. Nightmare, is to talk about what you're grateful for the Steam blockchain. So it could primarily so it can be used in marketing, but it's a good way of kind of letting people know that for all the bitching that goes on about this blockchain, there's a lot of good things. No, you don't have to wait to be tagged. Just make sure you use the tag when you write it.
Well, I'm actually about to tag Mr. Nightmare in the chat.
That'll take care of that.
It is. Steam is the blockchain that I love to hate. I rage quit at least 3 times a day. But some of us are like bad pennies. We keep turning up. We ain't going nowhere. Don't call me Whoopi Goldberg.
So, anyone who had the time to come into yesterday's witness chat and listen to the conversation would realize fairly quickly that there is a lot going on this blockchain. And as Draco's talked about in the after chat, this is just a young ecosystem. You know, at 3 years in, nobody wanted to be on Facebook. It took them pretty well 10 years, so we can complain a lot, but it's young. There's Bluefin came back to us. No, you didn't join late.
Me? Yes, I did. I joined late.
Lebe asked if he joined late, and I said no. So,
may I ask a favor of Kitty Girl?
Yes, absolutely. You want me to pull up a post link?
Yeah, put the icon in for you or me, and would you mind putting the orzo salad one in?
We'll be happy to.
Oh, I love orzo. That stuff is so good.
It is. You'll love this salad too. So, as it happens, Kitty Girl, you are up.
Well, I wanted to say hello to Lebby. He's on Steam, but he is also on Whale-Shares. That's where I met him, was on Whale-Shares, and he's been in a lot of those curation shows. And Lebby, it's good to have you over here on Pimp Your Post Thursday. This was the original curation show on Discord for posts on blockchain, so it's good to have you here. Okay, the last post presented was Sarge. He tagged me in that post to do my own post. And here's where I'm going to tag Mr. Nightmare and everybody in the chat. I challenge you to write your own gratitude challenge post. All you have to do is to tell people what you're grateful for regarding the Steam blockchain. The original post author has said, what has Steam done for you? So say what you're grateful for Steam having done for you. I put several items in my post, and Sarge did the same, but you can just put one item if you want. It doesn't have to be a long, drawn-out post unless you want to make it that. It's totally up to you. And be sure to use the tag Gratitude Challenge as one of your 5 tags. Now, if you will notice in my post, down at the bottom, I also used the tag Thoughtful Daily Post so that it would also go in with Wes Philbin's Thoughtful Daily Post challenge, and covering 2 challenges with 1 post. But this should be a very easy post for anyone to write. I think we all have various things to be grateful for on the blockchain, so let's show them. And then at the end of your post, tag 3 friends that you think would do a good job writing such a post or would enjoy participating, and spread the love.
And just like that. So it looks as though you've got 2 volunteers, Nightmare and Lebe.
Oh, and let me throw in one more tidbit here too. Anyone who writes a post with the Thoughtful Daily Post tag and comes into Pimp Your Post Thursday and presents it will be awarded 10 shade from Shadows Pub. So if you use that gratitude challenge and Thoughtful Daily Post tags, come back and present it.
So just a little tip here, there's 1 Thursday left in July, but that means that there's actually still 7 days that you could be writing thoughtful daily posts. So there's opportunity there if you choose to use it. Thank you, Kitty Girl. And Odious is going to take a turn. Yeah, you're getting up there, Nightmare. Are you ready there, Odious?
Yes, I'm ready. Good evening.
Good stuff. You're on voice. Go ahead and drop your your link in. Oh, how you like that? The Steam at preview worked this time.
Yeah, these I wrote a poetry. I wrote a poem based on life on humanity. I got inspiration on this poem because I've been noticing some things in our community these days. I've got some people around me They think they are once they've had this wealth with them. They call themselves the rich class, the most extravagant class. I don't know how to tag them. But out of it, they don't even care about the poor people. But nevertheless, most of people in this world, we've believed or we've forgotten where we all come from. I believe the birth of every human being is as a result of the meeting of the parents, both the husband and wife, I mean the man and the woman. But nevertheless, this poem, I wrote it out of passion, out of feelings that I have for the poor people around me. People in the top classes, they make sure that most of people behind them, they don't get to the top ladder. They don't climb the ladder to the highest stage. We're supposed not to be. So I felt somehow. I was like, I have to write something on it. We can't help ourselves in this life when we feel okay. Some people they are rich, some people are poor. We have to help ourselves. And nevertheless, if we have the opportunity to be rich, that one doesn't make us to be overriding, to be overruling, to be using veto power on the poor people outside there. It shouldn't be. They are also human beings, but conditionally they are there for some reason, for a particular purpose. So I hope this point goes across the world to show passion, to show feelings for the poor outside. They all need help. And another thing that I noticed so far in the community is that most people who have the privilege, most people who have the fortune, most people who have this rich, who have this money with them, they even give huge task, some tasks that even if they should embark on it themselves, they cannot accomplish them. So they give those tasks to the poor. At the end of the day, you see the poor suffering as well.
Well done. And you have earned your Pimp Your Post Thursday attendee role, which means that there's also a channel down there that you can post in. Kitty Girls just put it in the channel there. And hopefully you'll take a look at the other posts that are in there and give them some support as well. Well done.
All right, thank you. But all of these attendees post only.
Pardon me?
Yeah, I mean these attendees post only. What does that mean?
It means that you've got the roles. See that the color of the text there that Wes's name is in? You have that color there now, which means that you can go into that channel. You couldn't get into it before then.
All right. Understood. Thank you.
Okay. Well done. Ian, Kitty Girl's going to present for Blue.
Well, I've got the link here. Are you going to talk about it?
I will certainly give it my best.
Okay, there she be.
Awesome. Thank you, Shadows, for hosting us. Thank you for... You're welcome. And thank you, Kitty, for dropping the link for me. So it occurred to me today that somebody asked me the question that people might not know what orzo is. And I will say to you, what is wrong with you people? Orzo is a pasta. It is a rice-shaped pasta, and it's very common in Mediterranean food. So I've been on this kick of posting recipes recently. And this recipe is my orzo salad, which Shadows made for a family gathering of hers. I have left some options in there. I personally don't put certain things in the orzo salad because some in my family don't like it, and I make a big batch and it's in the fridge, and my daughter will grab it for lunch, or some people take it for here or there or whatever. And, but basically, all of these optional things like olives, black olives, tomato, red onion, those sort of things, I leave them off in a separate bowl on the side, and people can add or not as they see fit. Everybody, I'm feeling like Engine driving through the mountains and push to talk and dropping in and out.
Actually, you did pretty well. It got a little rocky towards the end, but otherwise your connection was solid.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And if you would like to present another post later, Blue, I'll be happy to pull up another link. Just let.
Well, let us see. I am real close to picking up my daughter, and that may prohibit me from chatting because I got a feeling she'll get in the car and be a talkie one for the next 2 hours.
You'll be chatting, but at a different level.
I actually probably will not.
You'll be listening.
Be chatting. Yeah.
Yeah, I've had that when I've picked my niece up. My normally very quiet niece, and she'll come off the train and get into the car, and it's just bang, 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 and it's like, who are you? All right. Thank you, Blue. Ian, we were at the bottom of the list there, guys. Nightmare's got one. Go for it, Nightmare. Now's a good time to drop the icon in. You won't be waiting long. Okay. Tell us about this post.
Actually, this is not mine. It's from the Swedish Dragon. It's about psychology, about understanding life. Life is not just about happiness because we know that we must also survive. So even though we have a rough time in work, we must still enjoy our time, even if we have a boring job, like we don't love to work on, but still we must live on with that. I found it nice, so I presented it here.
Okay. That's quite a picture you've used there. Is that one of yours? Nightmare?
Actually, this post was written by Swedish Dragon, not by Nightmare.
I wonder if Swedish Dragon shot the pictures.
Yeah, I wasn't sure, but down at the bottom of the post, yeah, it's
Yeah, there's the
it's
information
giving
there.
her photo credit.
Those are some beautiful shots. It's got the reflection of the water there, just a excellent angle. No, the photos are actually hers, Nightmare. As Kitty Girl just pointed out, the information's at the bottom. There's some beautiful shots, that's for sure. Well done. I don't really know. Is Swedish Dragon a woman?
Yes, Swedish Dragon is indeed a lady. Yeah.
There, that solved that one.
She's also one of the gurus in the Steam terminal that helps us answer questions from newbies, and she's really an awesome person. She's been on the chain for a good while.
Good. Yeah, I see the reps up around 67. Definitely been doing some posting. All right. So, Levy, you are up. So, go ahead and drop your link in. You probably know the drill anyways. I see Levy writing, typing. Sure? You can do Steam Peak, you can do Palnet, Creative Coin, Steam Leo. They're all Steam.
Yeah, Partico, although we prefer not the referral link to Partico, but the other link.
Okay, Lebe, can you come on voice now and tell us about your post?
Good morning, everyone. It's here in Nigeria. So my post is about what I did yesterday. I don't know if we are all familiar with ULOGs. ULOG was an initiative surpassing Google, in which you in which when you use the tag, you just tell us majorly about what you did throughout the day. So today started very unusual because I was awake, let me say throughout the night. I was busy creating a post. It was a football kind of post or a sports talk social kind of post whereby I compared three platforms in three sports platforms, which are Scorum, Sports Talk Social, and Sport Hub. They are sporting blogs. So they are sporting platform rather. Compare them and try to um, expatiate on their features. So that was the post I made. So that was what made me stay awake till 5. Then after I tired typing, I wanted to sleep but I couldn't sleep. That was because before I started creating the post, I took some caffeine, and caffeine usually work on me, so I couldn't sleep. Then I was restless because since I cannot sleep. What can I be doing at 5 a.m.? Then I started to jog. Then jogging, I started my jogging, let's say 5 o'clock. I discovered that my Artifit application was
Okay,
not on.
hold on. You don't need to read it to us. So nobody will go read it. So when you present your post, you just kind of give a bit of an idea of what the post is about. So you did a ulog and you were into sports and you were restless, and just hit the highlights because you want them to go read it. Well done though, and you've earned your PYPT attendee role, and there's the channel that you now have access to. Yes, Wes, that's a good way to put it, foreshadowing. So Odious and Lebe, and I don't know, maybe even done stuff. You earn shade when you present your posts. You can also earn shade when you go to the posts that have been presented and you leave comments. So there is a post that is done with links, and it's actually done over on the Token BB forum. So after this show is finished, when I hit enter to complete the post, you can go there and you can find all.
Sorry for the disturbance. Please, can I ask Mr. Lebe a question based on his post?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Mr. Lebe, what's up? About your post, do you really think Delete can flop like Stones in Man City? What make you think about that?
Yeah, thank you. I think the legit he can perform. I think he's going to Stones because he has been playing at the top level at a very young age. I think he started captaining Ayers at the age of 19. So he has performed at a very young age and he has played at top league. So I think he will perform more than Stones of England.
All right, thank you, Mr. Alube. Another question based on your post. You said, sorry, some people said Ronaldo have been winning Champions League, especially 5 times, sorry, 4 times in a row, then one time at Manchester United. But on your post there, you said probably he won it with a West teammate, probably Iran Giggs at Manchester United, then Bale at Real Madrid, and now he has this guy there at Juventus, Ramsey. Do you really think Ronaldo is being favored with his lucky behind him, or probably is having this lucky because of his team, because of the Welsh teammate he has there?
It's just for fun. It's not something serious. It's just a fun fact. Just something to laugh about. That's all.
Okay, so we had a little sport talk interlude there. So, Kitty Girl and Done Stuff, you're both present, obviously.
Yes, yes, yes.
You Done Stuff, are you there? Oh, Done Stuff. Is he fake newsing us? Anyways, Kitty Girl, you have 25 shade, and if Done Stuff surfaces, he'll have 25 shade.
Thank you.
And there's still a few minutes on there's 10 minutes yet on the other giveaway, the Steam Basic Income. So if you have not clicked the emoji, go ahead and click on it. If you're not present when it's drawn, you don't get. So we don't let
Yeah, I
people
hope
just
Done
click and
Stuff.
leave.
I do hope Done Stuff will come back so he can claim his.
Yeah, he may have just stepped away to get something, so hopefully he comes back and lets his presence be known. Philip, no, you're not late. Matter of fact, we were waiting on you to come in to drop your emoji and present.
Oh, that's a good answer, Shadows.
Well, we happen to have an opening in the list. Same with you, Mama. Who's going to be first to drop that emoji in?
Well, I dropped an icon after
Oh,
11.
you did too. Thank you, Kitty Girl, for drawing that to my attention. You're up. Okay,
So
you guys.
that'll give Philippe a moment to get his.
He got it. Okay.
Well, this is a post that just went live on the blockchain about 30 minutes ago, right after the show started. It's a draft I've been holding on to in SteamPeak for a day or two, tweaking a little. I do hope it falls under what Wes Philbin will count as a thoughtful daily post. I used that tag. And in that post, I was thinking about, I was going through some boxes, cleaning out some stuff, and I found this little box that was just full of little trinkets from the past. And that kind of made me thinking about all the clutter that we accumulate in our lives, especially when you get up into your 60s like I am. And you think about all the clutter that's in your physical life as well as all the clutter that's in your mental and emotional states. And so I did a little bit of music on that in a thoughtful manner. And then showed some of the little trinkets that were in the box. There's a few more. I found some coins in there too that I'm putting in a separate post. But there was all kinds of interesting things. In fact, if you scroll down to the last picture in the post, you'll see a fad from the 1970s called a mood ring. I don't know if anybody remembers those or not.
God,
but
yes.
Yeah,
I had one.
they're heat sensitive, so you put it on, and depending on your body temperature, it's supposed to give you an indication of your mood, And it was all the rage back in the late 70s and early 80s and such. So, yeah, I hope that does count as a thoughtful daily post, and that everyone will enjoy reading it and seeing all the crazy little trinkets in there. And I see Mr. Nightmare's question in chat. Is there a benefit in using SteamPeak? Let me answer that.
I thought you were gonna.
I think there is a benefit in using SteamPeak, but not everybody likes it. I mean, there's several different front ends to the blockchain. Of course, Steemit.com was the original one, and then Busy.org wrote one. There's also Partico and eSteam for people on mobile. There's the PalNet has just launched one. SteamLeo's just launched one. Several other people. Interblocks have launched one, but I think SteamPeak probably has the most functionality of all of them. It's definitely worth looking into, trying it once, and if you don't like it, fine, go back to Steemit or whatever. But you can save drafts of multiple posts in there and so forth and so on, a lot of good things. So that's all I'll say about that right now. But anyway, I hope everyone enjoys the little Pandora's Box post, and think about jumping on this bandwagon with the Thoughtful Daily Post. It's an easy thing to do.
Yeah, and it's not something that you have to stop at the end of July. You can continue to do it after the end of July. You won't get the 10 shade, but you will get whatever you normally earn for presenting posts at PYPT. So you'll never run out of posting ideas.
That's true. I think Wes Philbin wants this project to continue long after we're all gone.
Yeah. And I may at some point bring back the prize, the bonus in a future month. So you get in the habit. All right. Thank you, Kitty Girl. And Philip, you're up. Oh shit? No, you're up.
Oh, that's funny. We gave him a little bit of a reprieve, and he's still not ready.
Okay, Zeke, are you ready?
I'm always ready.
There you go.
Actually, I'm not.
The Canuck to the rescue.
I'm really not ready. There's two posts that I wanted to consider, and I'm trying to figure out which one it is and which one would be most useful for the folks here. So I'm going to go.
Well, put it this way. Grab one, put it in, present it. We'll have Philip present, and then you can present again. You're not confined to one post.
All right. This one is from my buddy Slobber Chops, and I don't know if anybody's followed him. He's somebody that I've supported and has supported me for a really, really long time, and it's neat to see him evolve as a Steamian. But you would have noticed the Chops token that got dumped in your Steam Engine wallet, if you're a follower of his, with no announcement and no meaning and no value and no nothing. And I thought, what the heck is this? And so I just kind of let him sit there. I thought maybe it was just a joke. He had some extra money, and he put together a token for the Steam Engine. And just today, is that right? 5 hours ago, yeah, he did a post and said, "Hey, this is what the chops in your wallet is for." And he explains, his meaning behind it. And so if I throw some chops at you, he even mentions shade as well. And I think he just wants to have a nice fun token that people flip around. I'm not sure what value it would have, but I thought if anybody's got these in their wallet and we're wondering what the hell was going on, then at least this would demystify it for you.
So I've been reading his posts now for a long time, and I just realized I've never followed him.
Yeah, he's just. Yeah, I've always followed him, but I think there's a period that I went through, like, why do I keep seeing this guy's posts, and why do I keep upvoting them? And it's just because I think he just appeared on my steamworld.org as somebody that maybe followed me and was given great comments. I thought, oh shit, I better follow.
Well, he's I think he's one of the members over in the Steam Engine, and I've seen some of his posts in the channel over there where people share posts.
Okay.
And then he keeps coming up on some of the feeds that I follow as well.
Yeah, and his choice of images is goofy as hell. Like, look at this stupid picture. I've never talked to him a lot.
Some of his writing's goofy as hell too.
Yeah, totally. Maybe that's what's entertaining. He's just so authentic, right?
Yeah, that's part of the attraction to him. Not to mention, the crazy name.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Thanks.
Well, I don't want to steal Zeke's thunder with his post, but I would like to say something about Steam Engine for a minute.
Yeah, go for it.
I know there is at least one person here in this chat that is not real familiar with Steam Engine and has posed the question, how does one assume Steam Engine tokens? And I wanted to answer that and maybe enlighten a couple of other people. Steam Engine there's the link in the chat, is a second layer protocol that runs on top of the Steam blockchain that allows tokens to be created and sent around. And you can earn those tokens several ways. Number one, if you've participated in a project on the chain, the Ramble here, you can earn tokens by being active in the server, just like Shadis has talked about earning shade. You can also purchase some of the tokens. There's actually been people who have bought shade and some of the other tokens that are out there. You can also be awarded tokens, like user to user. Sarge just rained cookie tokens on everybody that was in the server 45 minutes ago. So everybody's got a little bit of cookie if you were in here 45 minutes ago, but, thanks to Sarge. So there's lots of different ways to get the tokens, but you can go to steamengine.com to see what you got and what you can do with them. If you stake some of those tokens, they will probably increase in value, like Steam Leo and PalNet. Stake those tokens and they'll increase. And spread the love with the shade and all the other.
So if you stake your tokens and you're voting on posts, and the posts happen to carry the tag that match your token, then you're actually upvoting the person not only in Steam, you're upvoting them in whatever that token is. And if you've got enough of it, you could be awarding some to them.
And that makes me think of a question I'd intended to ask you, Shadow, some time back. Do you have any plans for making shade stakeable, or?
Not at this point. That actually requires, I believe it's 1,000 ENG to make stakeable. Like practically everything there, it's 1,000 ENG to make it stakeable. It's 1,000 ENG to get a front end up. So.
Oh, I didn't realize it was that pricey. Wow.
Yeah. So at this point, we're doing the distribution. I've had a couple of suggestions on ways of burning some of it, and I'm considering the logistics of it. So there may be some stuff coming up where you'll get opportunity to do some spending, and it'll end up getting burnt.
Okay, cool. Thanks for explaining.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to Zeke's post if he has anything else to say about it. Sorry about that.
Oh, no, it's all good. I was done.
All right. So, Philip, are you good to go? There he is. He's writing. We're waiting in anticipation. Oh.
I don't know what he is doing. I'm looking at him like, we are waiting, Philippe. Hurry up.
He says
talk on the microphone.
He says
he's typing.
He says issues with the post. Went to copy the link and saw it didn't embed the link.
Oh, there must be like a video link or something in the post that's.
Ah, okay. So I take it that he's working on it then. That's okay. Zeke, go ahead and drop your second one in then.
Oh, okay.
You're covering Phyllis, but he's gonna owe you.
He needed some tech support, and here I am. All right. This sequential vibe is the guy who sat on my front step and said, hey, there's this stuff called Bitcoin, and there's these altcoins, and then there's this platform called Steam, and you have to get in on all of it. And so from that conversation on, I checked it out and got sucked down, what did he say? Down the rabbit hole. I followed him down the rabbit hole. And since then, he has been, he's gone through some incredible changes in his life. And one of the things that he's done is become a digital, or I guess focus on digital music production, and does a lot of down-tempo, spacey kind of ambient, crazy stuff. And he pumps out song after song after song. He at one point was paying, I think, when Steam was $8, he was paying his rent. He was just making, learning again and discovering tools and making music and being incredibly fulfilled. And he's just never stopped doing it. So obviously I follow him and I support him, but every single day there's a new ambient song on there, and I just pop it on in the morning when I'm doing my annoying paperwork. And he's a Steam resident that's kind of underground behind the scenes, and he doesn't do any networking, and he's not a super social guy, but he definitely believes in Steam, and he's just stuck with it the whole time, and he's a true Steam musician.
And thank God for the ones that pay attention to the marathon instead of trying to do the sprint. And of course, he's had a taste of what can happen when Steam goes up in value.
Yeah, he called it, and I think he was a big fan of Bronc Nuts in the beginning, and followed his lead, and Kiliokazi and all those guys. So he told me who to watch, even, right? So I learned a lot from him, and I love to hear his beautiful ambient music and listening to him learn the technology all again, and just kind of fulfill part of him, which is to be a music producer, and Steam has enabled him to do.
It's really amazing the musical talent that's on this platform. Is he using Tune?
I've heard him say that before, but he's such a nerd. He goes into every single little thing and finds every plugin and hits every message board and finds every. So yeah, he uses probably 1,000 things, and all of them.
Well, Tune is another blockchain.
Oh yes.
Yeah, and it's primarily for musicians. Although you can put podcasts on it.
Yeah, he's built himself a profile even in what's that centralized music sharing end of the day. Yeah, exactly. He's got himself a profile there on Spotify, and his albums are on YouTube and DTube and DSound and the whole deals.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Good stuff. All right. Thank you, Zeke.
No problem.
Engine called it Spotify. Okay. Go for it, kitty girl.
Well, I'm definitely a fan of ambient music, and I'm not familiar with sequential vibe. So thank you for sharing that. I like. Well, this is another thoughtful daily post. I'm rather proud of this one. The meme that you see there, I did not create. It was taken from another website that features a newsletter, and I just love that quote: promote what you love instead of bashing what you hate. And what I wrote about in this post is we've got limited time on this earth, and do we want to spend it basking in the things that we love, or do we want to go around, spreading the negativity of things we hate, all the time? And it's just, something to think about. And I think that meshes beautifully with Wes's thoughtful daily post vibe. And just wanted to put that out there. I think this is a very uplifting thing to think about. And if we can be a little bit more mindful in our daily lives, I think we will be happy.
Yeah, it makes a difference. There's a reason that when people post negative posts, they often continue to post negative posts. And it's the simple fact that you're drawn to what you're doing. And if you're going to be negative, you'll continue to be negative.
That is very true, and we've got enough negativity on the blockchain with the whale wars, flag wars, and all this stuff going on. You know, we need more positivity out there. So yeah, pump it out, pump it out. Keep.
Like, there's a lot of people that think that, positive thinking's all foo-for-ah, but it's just, you look for the positive and stuff instead of the negative, and you'll generally find something that you can latch onto.
Yeah, and the thing too about this thoughtful daily post challenge of Wes's challenge project, whatever you want to call it, is something any of us can do. You just have to find a quote that you like this quote in my meme, and put it out there on the blockchain in a post. Be sure to source. If you use an image like I did, be sure to say image source. For this is where I got it. Give credit where credit is due, and then write your own words about what this means to you. This is something anybody on the blockchain can write.
Yep, absolutely. So I'll give you a little bit of an example without going into a whole lot of detail of finding a positive even in the middle of a negative. There's an organization that I have given thousands of hours of my energy to over the years, and there's some individuals within that organization that have treated me very badly over the last 2-3 years. Now, I could let that get me down, but at the same time I look at it and go, you know what those guys have done makes me feel absolutely no guilt at all about doing nothing there and focusing in on doing what I want to do, which is stuff on the blockchain. So you can find the positive. You just got to take a look at the situation. All right. Philippe, I'm not ignoring you, but I don't want to put a whole lot of pressure on you. So when you're ready, let us know. And Kitty Girl just went. So, Injun, you're up. Negativity always travels faster. Only because there's so much of it out there. There's so much of it out there. So if we do things like Wes's Thoughtful Daily, it'll start to get overpowered.
Yes, I love things that spread the love and positive thoughts around, even off-chain. But on-chain, yes, Wes, gotta give it up for you. It's a good initiative. I'm pretty sure it'll keep going. I've got another one in mind right now, but this one, I gotta get my shade here. Drop my Thoughtful Daily Post in here on PYPT. It's about a realization, well, for anybody really, but more so when I became a parent, about the difference between tolerance and acceptance. Tolerating something, in itself is almost a negative action, but in some cases, I guess, would have a few positive results. But acceptance and moving forward, that's what I was hoping to convey in the post. So hopefully you got that. I know Wes like the big bold letters in the comments down there. So appreciate you stopping by and checking it out, man.
Yeah, and that's a couple of concepts that not everybody grasps, the difference between tolerance and acceptance.
Takes a while. It took me a while. I mean, I was dad for probably 10 years before I was finally like, oh, if I thought this way instead of this way, maybe things would be easier.
Yeah.
Lo and behold.
Yeah, sometimes that different perspective just makes such a difference. Very good.
Kind of like that half full and half empty analogy,
Oh yeah.
Almost the difference between pessimism and optimism, but no.
There's a lot of that, and maybe that's where some of the negativity comes from, is people just don't get it. By the way, doesn't stuff ever return? Or is he fake newsing us? I don't see anything in the text.
Yeah, I don't believe he's been back, unfortunately.
Yeah, he blew that one.
Falling asleep.
Yeah, you have to be present to win one of the giveaway drawings, and he won, and we called his name, but he hasn't responded, so he don't get it.
Yeah, and he's had about another 15 minutes to reappear, because I make allowances for people that have had to step away for a few minutes. So, having said that, Injun, Sarge, and Wes, are you all present?
And accounted for.
Aye, aye.
And Wes?
I am here, yes.
Steam Basic Income coming your way.
We're going to be 100 heirs in no time.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
And
A
Philippe?
moment ago, Ingenuity was talking about glass half full versus glass half empty thing, and I heard somebody one time that, and I don't know if this was a true story or if it was a joke, but they said this guy went in to see his therapist who set a glass down and asked him, was it half empty or half full? And he grabbed the glass and chugged the water down real fast, set it down, and said, it's empty.
In other words, I'm not doing this philosophy today.
Yes, exactly.
That's one way of getting around it. So, Philippe, is that an indication that you're good to go? He's good to go.
Yeah, I can do it. It's a gaming one, so it's probably not going to be too relevant for you guys, but it was more just, I don't know, my posts have been a bit shitty since we'd left and come back, so I was just trying to work on improving the quality of the posts and making the pictures and everything, because like Kitty's girl was saying before, I hate finding pictures and then having to source all the images and include all that stuff, so I prefer to make it ourselves, and I don't know, it seems to be fun to do.
All right.
But yeah, it was one of my first D-Troop posts in a while too, so just testing that out and seeing how it goes.
And you're enjoying it?
Yeah, I think like I need to find something else to write about. That was just off the top of my head something, so yeah, it'd be interesting once I actually, I don't know, go for a bike ride or something and have something interesting to write about.
So the Clash Royale, I actually played that for a while.
Yeah, my son got me onto it, and then I stopped playing it for a long time, and then just sort of got back into it a while back. But ever since getting back into Steam, I haven't really had much time to play it. So.
Yeah, I think I got a little tired of it, and I usually do with those games. I go for so long, and then I just drop them.
Yeah, that's pretty much exactly what I do with this one. I dropped it for a while, and then pick it back up.
The same people that make the Clash of Clans?
Yeah.
Yeah, Supercell. And they've got they've released another one now. Get the name of that.
Yeah, I played Clash of Clans for a while too.
Yeah, I played that one years ago as well.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty popular there for a while.
It looks like similar animators.
Yeah, I think it's pretty much the same. You can hardly tell
Yeah,
the
I think
difference between them.
They cross over a few of the characters as well. Yeah.
That's not surprising. So, your daughter was, is it your daughter that was checking out some posts last week and making comments?
I think, yeah, Violet was, and I think Layla started following her around and checking out a few of them as well.
Yeah, actually, she got some shade for doing it, and I was impressed with some of those comments. So I would encourage her to carry on.
Oh, well, yeah, no, she really enjoyed it, and when she checked the Steam engine and saw that she had shade, she was over the moon, so... Now we're trying to get the little three into it. Violet's only 9, and Noah, the Astro Boy one, Violet's 10, Noah's 11, and his one's, Astro Boy Cambodia, and then there's Layla, she's little Layla.
Yeah, and when I went through to Lila's profile and saw the age, I went, wow, I'm impressed.
Yeah, got to get him into it young.
Well, the messages that she left, the comments that she left, if you had not gone and looked at the profile and saw the age, you would not know that was her age.
I totally agree. I was shocked. I was really shocked.
Yeah. I encourage that sort of thing when kids take an interest.
Yeah, well, exactly. I'd rather be on here than Facebook or YouTube or something. So.
Well, exactly. And they'd learn a little bit, get to know some people.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I think this seems like a lot safer of a community.
What's your affiliation with Battle Games and Steam?
With Battle Games and Steam A's.
Yeah, what kind of affiliation do you have with them? I mean, I got tokens for both of them, and I was just curious if there was a difference between the two, or they both like gaming curation bits.
I'm just a member of both of them. Like, I was part of Battle Games before Steam Ace came along, but then Steam Ace seemed to have got themselves listed on the what's the name, on Steam Peak and things a lot faster. So it'll be interesting to see how it all goes. Like, they're both saying there's room for both of them in the Steam ecosystem, but I don't know. We'll see how we go.
As many gamers as there are in the world. Scratching the surface with that one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's a huge industry, that's for sure.
It's the #1 entertainment industry. It overtook like movies and video.
It's not surprising. That's why the streaming games is so popular amongst especially young people.
Yeah, my oldest son lives up in New York. Is trying to be a video game streamer for a living. He makes something like $20 a week, but he's getting there.
It takes a while to build an audience, and you really kind of have to be able to engage the audience.
My wife was showing me.
He's got a select audience at the moment. He curb his tongue a little bit. I bet you he'd get more people watching.
He hasn't developed that mature level, eh?
No.
My wife was showing me some survey that she found last night about kids in America and how it was something like 40% of kids when they grow up want to become YouTubers now, and becoming an astronaut is down to like 8%. I thought that's quite amazing and big turnaround from when we were kids.
Well, they
I wonder
look
what
at
percentage want to be firemen.
Not enough.
Yeah, probably
not
2 now. 2%.
There's not enough wanting to be plumbers either. All right. So we might as well go to the other half of the family. Mama.
Hi guys.
Hi. How does one assume some steam engine tokens?
Okay, today I'm going to share someone else's post. It's by the Shell vlog. He has schizophrenia, and he posts vlogs about living with schizophrenia, and I'm really interested in finding out more things about mental health, and I love how he's breaking the taboo of people with schizophrenia and society's thoughts of people with schizophrenia and stuff. So yeah, I brought that post along with me today.
Good for him. It takes a certain level of courage to talk about mental health issues.
Exactly. My son has bipolar, so I'm interested in reading up about all things mental health. But I just thought he was so courageous in putting his face out there and, letting other people learn about the lives and troubles and tribulations that other people live. So
yeah, it can be a real eye-opener to learn a little bit about how the other half lives. Oh, really, Lebe? We'll see what we can do about that. I'll have a look in a while. So, has anybody else got something they would like to post? Have we all posted out tonight? Engine does. He's just getting started. Go ahead, Engine.
I'm trying. My browser's being slow.
Oops.
What did Hobo do now?
Her back leg slipped off before she got herself positioned onto the next table. So she was kind of dangling over the edge till I grabbed her.
Oh my goodness.
What a character.
That kind of reminds me of the image that I just dropped into chat. I think that is.
That's just about what I've seen some of them do. I had a Siamese cat that you could, just by the motions of her body, you could watch her figuring out how to solve a problem.
Ooh, they got the Steam's repopulating the image thumbnails now, huh?
Yeah, it's just started in the last probably hour.
I think last week, this one fellow that bounces around in the castle over there with the Alliance, he wrote this little story via the encouragement of good old Captain Dreamsteam, trying to get him to write and be a little more creative. And he come up with this little story where the horses come along and splash me and Snook, who are sitting on a bank, and then I wrote one where my version was I'm actually trying to fish, and they came and interrupted my fishing, and we got to having fun and playing. And this is Snook's rendition. It's pretty funny. I didn't know Snook was so magical. To be honest with you.
He got you kissing the ground.
Right. But it's a good read. There's another one, another part to it too that somebody wrote. I'll drop that if no one else wants to jump in after this.
Yeah. Does anybody else have something they want to? Actually, go ahead and put the other part in. Lebe, you're out of RCs. Is that what you said? Wow, you must be doing a lot of commenting. Interesting. Yeah, you're at 63, which isn't bad, but if you're doing a lot of commenting, that does make a little bit of a difference.
Yeah, huge difference.
Yeah.
That's cool though. You're the first person I've actually ran into, besides a few small ones that have 10 to 15 SP that have actually run out. They tried to fix that. So to see that you're running out means you are out there engaging. So pat on the back, actually.
Yeah. So I just delegated you another 50, but you may have to pace yourself a little bit. So as long as you're active and as long as you're building your account, I'll leave that in place. But if what you're doing is earning and taking it out, I'll probably pull it.
That's awesome, Shadows. Thank you.
I delegate to help people build. I don't delegate to help people take it out. Okay, Mama, go ahead.
This time I'd like to share one of my posts that I wrote this morning. There's a trend of push presents where women who have carried a child and given birth to the child are given a push present from their partners. And I'd only just found out about that. So I started to look into it a little bit more. And then I started to find the concept a bit silly, really, because isn't the big gift at the end of pregnancy and birth the baby? So yeah, I just sort of go through my discovery of what I found out of what a push present is, and then what about the boys? Like, what about the partners who deal with almost as much as the woman carrying the child throughout pregnancy. I might be lucky, but every time I was throwing up, Philippe was there holding my hair my hair back so I wasn't covered in vomit, and standing there with a glass of water, and every midnight craving that I needed, he was running out suburbs away to go and collect whatever I was needing. So yeah, it was just my own little thoughts on push presents, and yeah.
All right. Nice stuff. Serge says, my hat's all off to all women yet, especially to mothers. Had a kidney stone once, and that is just a little bit ouchy related to giving birth.
A little bit actually. I've had kidney stones as well. Not quite bad. Yeah.
Well, the kidney stone that I had, I didn't even know I had it. So, Lebby, I noticed your comment about your investing all you have on steam engine tokens like sports. I suggest what you do is build up your steam power to at least 150 before you do any more investing, because you're going to need those RCs. And that's the only way you're going to get them, is you've got to have your steam power. There you go.
Yeah, I totally agree that what Shadows just said is right, Lebby. So yeah, listen to her. She knows what she's talking about.
Yeah, the tokens are great, but if you haven't got RCs, they're not going to do you any good. Okay, Odious, good to see you in and good to see you present. Good stuff. And,
Oh, yeah, and Ingenuity's comment just there. Every time you make a transaction on Steam Engine, it costs some RCs. That's something else to consider.
Yeah, I'm going to say 150, but it'd be even better if you get yourself up to minnow level, which is 500. So if all those tokens you've got, you stake them, you'll be able to be earning a little bit and building those up while you're building up your steam power. Yeah, it can happen, Philip, especially when you're playing the games. Ooh, Mama's almost out of minnow.
And if you keep coming back into Pimp Your Post Thursday, Lebby, and presenting posts and then commenting on other people's posts that they've presented, you will be earning shade on Steam Engine without having to do anything else.
Yep. You might surprise yourself how quickly you can get up to 500 SP. And believe it or not, right now, when the price of Steam is low, now is the time to be posting, because you will get more steam power, or more steam, than when it's higher.
I thought the way they had it pegged, that when Steam price was low, you would get more SPD, but they just flip-flopped that this past week, and I've been getting Steam and very little SPD on my payouts. I'm getting Steam Power, and SPD now.
Yeah,
so I'm not sure what they adjusted or how. But
it's gone down, the
odd.
Inflation's gone up, so the haircut rule has come in.
Ah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, it all depends on the SPD printing rate and inflation. And
yeah, so it dropped to 9, and if it gets to 10, then it'll change again.
I've never quite figured out, though, exactly how did they come up with that term haircut rule to describe it. That makes no sense.
Just taking a little off the top,
Pretty much. What drew my attention to it was the post that Marky Mark put up, in which he cautioned people that when that comes in, when you do a conversion on the market to go from SPD to Steam, you lose some value. So you've got to be really careful.
Oh, okay. Then that makes sense. Yeah. With Engine's comment about a little off the top, and then that, yeah, okay, gotcha.
Exactly.
Yeah, I never could figure out why they called it that. It was almost like they just pulled a term out of the air, but now I understand it, yeah.
No plan for staking of shade at this time. I think you asked me that last week too, Engine.
And I asked it earlier today, and you answered. So sorry about that. I'll try to remember next.
The day may come. We'll see. But in the meantime, there's ways of earning it. That doesn't really require staking.
Hey, I have a question.
Okay.
Can a post make more than one round of shade? Say you gave him 2 shade and I gave him 2 shade. Is that possible, or
Yes.
is it just? Yes. Okay, cool.
Like if you go to the post and comment, and I think Sarge has done this on a few of them. He'll go to a post and comment, and he'll leave them some shade, and then I'll come by and leave shade as well, because it was presented at Pimp Your Post Thursday.
Sweet.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't monitor as to whether somebody's put some shade on there or not. I just go by and it was earned at Pimp Your Post Thursday, and it goes on.
Oh, I wasn't sure if there was like a code to nullify itself or not. So I
No.
was just sure.
There's what you call tossing some shade across the city. That's cute.
I like that. Yeah.
So, Engine, you're up.
This is the most there may be another recent one. I've not actually been on chain browsing through posts in about 4 or 5 hours because I've had a pool to fix over here and hung out some clothes because my washer's fine, but my dryer, and I don't know, I think I mentioned something about that a while back and how it's been raining for a week and yeah, clothes, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, yeah, so, yeah, in the little story that Chris started about sitting on the bank with Snook and James Steen and him come through, and Jack's taking an interesting turn a while back. We found this video on YouTube of this guy that I think is Timmy the Terrible or something like that, where these people, an actual fishing show, find him out in about 2 miles off the beach at the coast, sitting on this rainbow unicorn raft with a fishing pole in one hand, and he had taped up a few holes in the rainbow unicorn, and on the end of his pole he had a shark that was pulling him around in the ocean, and they pulled him up in the boat and helped him finish catching it. It was pretty cool. So yeah, it totally cracked me up when I saw what he put in the post there. It's just a piece of it, but yeah, it's good stuff. You like it.
Yeah, he did some interesting turns of phrase there. Her Royal Spankiness, Frisbee.
Right.
The rod and lure hit the floor, so does the Colt 45 blowing a hole in the floor of the boat.
That's why we had to get on my raft.
Just as the beast of the boat comes ingenuity to the rescue on his unicorn floaty, still reeling in the 56,000-pound guppy.
Yeah, because everything's bigger in Australia.
Apparently. And that was just a brief excerpt. You got to read the rest of it yourselves, guys. Don't forget to leave comments. Where is Miss Snook tonight? We tagged her twice. I think she went back to sleep again. Okay, Nightmare. Oh, she playing poker, was she? If you pass the bridge, throw the 1 fruit in the air, so you only have 80 because the other 5 is on the air. Okay. Nightmare, you got a post for us? Sarge says, I did not tell. Did you beat her? I mean at cards.
Yeah, I finished second.
He won for a change. Okay, Nightmare, tell us about this post.
So this is about southwest wind. Actually, the sea in our place is peaceful. Every time there will be a southwest wind, it will create waves. The sea gets blurred, and the fishermen can't go to the sea because of these waves. That's why I used to call it every time it will be southwest wind, it will be hunger days because fishermen can go to the sea and the citizens can buy fishes. So I don't know if it will be interesting for others, but it's just part of our daily life here.
So when there's a southwest wind, you can't get out onto the water?
Yeah,
Yeah, those are things that you have to take into account.
uh, some things just happening in our place. So maybe if others will be interested and love to read it.
Nice. And you took those pictures?
Yeah, I did. The boat is on the above the shore because usually it will be in the near in the shore, but in the wave, when there will be a waves, it will be caught in the wave. So they put it in the above the shore.
Very good. Thank you, Nightmare.
Thank
And
you.
go ahead. And Mama, you're up.
Hello. This is my thoughtful daily post. Got to get my shade in too. You'll never always be motivated, so you must learn to be disciplined. So a little reminder that stay disciplined, right, and forget about the price of steam. Get in there and do your thing.
Yeah. Waiting for motivation is kind of like a writer waiting for muse. It doesn't work.
Exactly.
If you wait for inspiration to come along, you're just going to sit there and wait. Well done. Thank you, Mama.
Thank you for having me.
And Injun, you are up.
Sorry, I was commenting on your post there, Mama. Here's another one from who used to be fairly regular on the show. She's kind of taken to her kids a little bit more lately, which isn't a bad thing. I mean, they'll be in school soon enough, and then they'll be off, doing their after-school things and with friends, and yeah, you'll remember those days, But anyway, she was going through some old boxes and whatnot the other day, and she come across the old poem she had written and never actually given to the person she had written it for, or maybe she wrote it for herself. Who knows? But the artistry in and of itself, not to mention the poetry, is pretty good. So stop in, show us some love, say, hey, we missed you on PYPT.
She does get in. She got in to the witness chat for a little while yesterday, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, she was there for about 30, 45 minutes, I saw.
Yeah.
And she had to run off with 2 kiddos.
Her boys are what? 6?
4.
4. Yeah.
Yeah, they're just a little bit older than Khaleesi.
4-year-old twin boys. She's lucky she ever appears.
Right?
Yeah, they're sweet boys. I got to meet them when she came through the area. They're just as precious as they can be, but she does have her hands full. Bless her heart.
Yeah, like twins. There's a few sets of twins in our family, and generally speaking, what one of the twins doesn't think of, the other one will. When those twins are boys, it's even worse. So yeah, you got some challenges on your hands when you got twins. Thank you, Injun. Kitty, you're up.
Thank you.
Well, I'm sharing a post that's rather sad. It's been a month since Wolfheart passed, and Britt was rather close to him. They kind of struck up a DM conversation, and so, you know, it really hit her hard when he passed. And so she's just reminding people that it's been a month since he's been gone. And she has done something wonderful for the family. She has gathered comments and messages that have been left in various servers, sent to her in DM, comments posted on posts about Wolfheart, and she's got them all printed out. And when a little bit more time passes and the family has time to settle down from the loss, she's going to mail a package to them with all the printouts in it so that they have those to remember him by. Yeah, it's a wonderful gesture on her part, I think, to have those testimonies sent to them that way. And also, Shadows, I wanted her to know that I presented this post on Pimp Your Post Thursday, so I left a comment to that effect. But I don't think it's really appropriate to litter the post with shade comments. So just exempt this post, if you would, from those shade comments. That's, I think, a lot.
Okay, so what I'll do on this one, guys, is go to the post and leave a comment referencing PYPT, but I'll just send it direct instead of through the bot server.
Yeah, that sounds more appropriate. I don't even care if I get shade for presenting this or anything. I wanted everyone to know about Wolfheart and things.
Yeah, so go ahead and leave comments. Just don't expect to see it on the post. Oops, close that one. I didn't want to. Thank you, Kitty. And Injun.
This one's rather interesting about the power that people have in other people's lives and influence that they may have without even knowing it. Oftentimes we get wrapped up in our own little shells and our own little worlds and our cubicles and this, that, or the other, and every now and then somebody breaks that wall. And in this particular post, she's talking about somebody that simply made her smile, and I thought it was awesome. And she's close to payout, so if you like it, be sure to say, hey, that was awesome. Woody dropped this on PYPT, and I'm glad he did, because you deserve more for this post.
Zeke says that your mic has slipped down to your neck.
My bad. I think I have my pinky kind of over it because I'm on my phone.
I think sometimes he eats them, Zeke.
I do get hungry, no lie.
You're just lucky Bluefin's not here. You get even hungrier.
Oh my gosh. I'm not complaining. I mean, I just ate, so I should be good for a little while. But yeah, if he's here, I'd be eating dessert in seconds.
He's on the road today, so he was in for a while, but he's headed back with his daughter. All right. Thank you, Injun. Kitty, you're up.
Well, I wanted to share another post that Britt wrote, mostly because of the photograph that is at the top of this post. That is one of the most magnificent photos of cat I think I've ever seen. I love the coloring on that kitty cat. And that
Mm.
cat is sitting there with such a regal pose, and with the cloudy sky behind, you can see the tufts of hair sticking up on the tops of the ears. I just think this is a wonderful photograph. I just cannot get over how glorious this photograph is. I wanted to share it and show what a good photographer Britt can be when she really puts her mind to it. I mean, this is just wonderful. I love that shot.
Well, she's got a great subject to work with, and I love the color on that, the shade.
Yeah, that is just one of the most glorious kitty cats I think I've ever seen. Magnificent picture there.
The fawn color is very close to the shade that Fanya was as a kitten. That's why he got the name he got.
Ah, okay. I thought he was a little bit darker than that, but
He
yeah.
became darker, but he was light enough, just about that shade as a kitten. I have naturally finished pine stairs in the house here, and as a kitten, when he was climbing the stairs, you had to see him move to know he was on them.
Oh, that's amazing. Wow.
Yeah. That obviously is a female that Britt has shot there, who very much knows that female cats are called queens.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Very nice. Thank you, kitty girl. Go for it, Nightmare. What do we got here?
This is my jelly riddle game. The photos made by Brett, and also that's why the game was continued because of the sponsor, Wes, Brett, and Simply Mike. So see for yourself what is the question there. If it may caught your interest, then you can answer it.
So, how is it going with the contest? You've been running it what now? A couple of weeks?
It's been 2 weeks, yeah.
And are you getting some fairly decent response to it?
Yeah, so, not too many people participate, but sometimes only 6, 7, 5. Well, it's fine because I'm having fun making a riddle.
That's not bad, actually.
Yeah, because also there are people who sponsor it. Then if it's not a special edition, the rewards will be the post payout.
Yeah, the fact that you're getting even a half a dozen people involved is good. As you haven't got a very large network as yet. You're still building as far as your spot on the platform. So I'd say you're doing well.
Yeah, I think so. So that's why I'm enjoying it, even though I only receive a vote. Then I feel sorry for those who participate because the rewards will be not that much because I only have the post.
Ah, I hear you. But they seem to understand. They keep coming back and playing. That's a good thing.
Yeah, because also I explain them how the rewards.
Good stuff. All right. Does anybody else have anything? Everybody's posted out. Okay. You've been listening to Shadow's Pub host, Pimp Your Post Thursday, evening edition, from the Ramble. Until next time, it's all about community. And yep, bye, Wilma.